Actually, Liam, speaking of that, someone said that when you talk, you sound just like an owl.
I'm having a hard time figuring out if you're kidding or not.
No, someone did.
Who? Fuck my life. Fuck my life. The intention of this content is not to harm anyone, dismiss any trauma experienced, or make light of any vulnerable or serious topics. If anything that is said affects you negatively, please reach out to share your concerns and help us become better people.
The way you said that affects me negatively.
I was going to say it affects me positively. It feels like the beginning of Coraline.
All right, well, I feel neutral, so.
Nothing's changed.
That's Kaylee. That's Kaylee.
Fuck.
Welcome to the Owl.
The Existential Owl.
They call me Owl.
Why?
Existential Owl.
Why?
Why?
Help me, help me.
Life is inherently meaningless.
Help me.
Oh, that's such a rabbit hole that I could fall down so quickly. It's so dangerous that I every time I find myself thinking of something like that, I literally have to be like, no, we got to move on to something else, because I could just fall into a pit of despair thinking about how meaningless life can be.
No, that's the most comforting thing for me now.
And that's the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce our special guest, the Spectrum.
That's the dog versus the cat right there.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, I'm in trouble. Woo, you're going to forget about it tomorrow and time's going to keep passing and no one cares.
Oh my God, we constantly have to just ground ourselves. When that happens, when something like horrifically stressful is happening, we just have to keep thinking, this is going to pass. This is going to pass. It's going to be fine. Otherwise, we just descend
Into madness.
to madness. It's funny because I knew that was like, it was my time to read that. So for days, I've been this ball of anxiety. I have to read this, and I have an awful stutter. And so I actually have been like stressed out. I've done so much work around it. That's how much it impacts. That's how much it fucks with me. The anticipation to like do something like that, which for someone else is so small. And then for me, it's like days where Katie's like, so we're going to take the kids out. It's going to be fun. And I'm like, I have to read a paragraph.
That's already written.
I have to read a paragraph in 3 months.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Fuck, that's tricky.
It's fucking tricky.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about your vows then?
Ooh.
Good. When we got legally married, we didn't have to exchange vows, but we did have to say, I take, right? And I do. And I distinctly remember from a very young age, I think I started to think about this from when I was like 12 or 13. I started to actually consider that day, if there's one time in my life where I really hope I don't stutter, it's when I say, I do. And for years, it would always be in the back of my head, always. And then that day came, and it was fine. It was fine. Nothing happened. It was just smooth.
You made it through?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. The vows, different fucking story. I have no idea how that's going to... No, but I was thinking of like, I'll just hire like Maestro Fresh West to just rap them to her.
When you said hire, I was thinking hire someone to stand behind you and speak while you just move your mouth, and also like stick their arms underneath yours and
Wait.
pretend to be your arms.
That sounds like your job.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Please. Be a great fit for the wedding.
It'd be an even better bit if one of you guys just stood up there and married Katie instead. Because you guys are already legally married. So just like make her marry her sister or something.
Oh.
And everyone will be like, oh.
Matt, you put on Katie's dress and you walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
Little girls, we are real when we play. Yeah.
Real
People
as
are
fuck.
dying.
I was a mother of 4 with like divorced for 2 years, living on the streets.
And that was playtime.
Yeah, exactly.
That was like wildest dreams.
I was 4.
I know. I always played the single mom to my cousins when we played house.
You were like, sorry, kids, I'm too busy. I got to go to my second job.
yeah.
And I work like a dog day and night.
And then my like boy cousin would be like, and we have lightsabers. And that was the gist of the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be like me and my childhood friend Kyle would have like pretend Nerf wars against zombies. We'd like get face paint on and we'd like be full of bullets and like have the straps that go across your chest with bullets stuffed in them. We'd be like, all right, we just got to make it past this wall to the new safe house and we'll be okay. And then his little sister would come outside and be like, and I have a baby.
And then he gets all upset, like, no, go inside.
You've complicated things.
You obviously don't. We're in war. Leave that baby at home, soldier. Good times.
God, that just like gave me so much nostalgia for just like having so much
know.
imagination.
Yes.
I know. I think I still do.
It's there, and I let it out in Minecraft creative mode, but you know, it's not the same.
Let's just play house.
Yeah, I want to play house.
What's the thing called in the States that's like pre-military? Like you're in high school and you join it and they pretend you're in the military, but you're not really in the military, but you're like getting ready to be kind of thing. Because that's what I imagined when you said that.
No.
I wore my combat boots every day. You just never know.
No, in more of the I wish I was Katniss Everdeen way, which is also kind of terrible, but I had depression, so I thought that life would be better.
You're like, you know what? I don't like my 12-year-old life. I would much rather be a tribute.
Yep.
Her agony speaks to me.
I am coming to the tree.
It's true. I used to really want to be Edward Cullen, and then, but yeah, and
I
then
wanted to be Bella, so it's fine.
right, and then years later, I was like, he's a miserable fucking prick.
Yeah.
Guys, his brain he stopped at 17. His brain never fully developed.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine?
Oh my
being
God.
stuck like you were when you were 17 years old?
Yes.
A 17-year-old boy, to be exact.
Oh my.
Oh, a boy? No, not me.
I was a man. I think for me it was Harry Potter. That was who I really wanted to be. But then reflecting on it, that was somebody whose parents got killed and he was cursed. So
There's this
and also an outcast.
Slept under the stairs.
But he was
Slept
the
in a
chosen
room under
one.
the
under the
stairs.
stairs. There's this theme of us finding joy in other people's pain.
But not even in like the laughing at your pain kind of way. It's more like the God, I wish I felt that.
Thanks for the inspiration, Harry Potter. Glad your parents are dead.
Or like imagine trying to be Luke Skywalker. You've never met either of your parents until you discover that one of them is like the most evil dude in the galaxy and he's actively trying to kill you and your friends. That sucks.
Yeah.
That blows.
That sucks. You know, for some people through therapy, they only figure that out in their 30s, that their father is not the best. And wants to take over the galaxy.
Mark? Does your dad want to take over the galaxy?
He's a Sith Lord. He might.
He might. Yeah, I think I'd support that.
I would too.
Imagining your dad's demeanor as a Sith Lord is so funny. He'd be like, well, you know,
I've never actually asked him that.
I guess we're going to take over the galaxy now.
Play
How
some
are you, buddy?
tunes, maybe.
Yeah. Anybody got any good music?
Are you trying to be Mark?
Yes.
I've never actually asked him that.
Oh my god, it's our first guest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got a caller on line 1.
He's trying to FaceTime me. Oh.
God, this is pure chaos, and I'm living for it. Did you just get hung up on by a Sith Lord?
That's so Sith of him.
I know a Jedi wouldn't do that.
That's so dark side. I think he's just struggling to figure out the features. Hey, Dad.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Good afternoon, Mark.
These are all of your other children.
Don't tell your mother.
Okay. Oh, I won't say a word.
And also pay no attention that none of them look alike.
Yeah, busy man.
Please
Let's just say-
keep going.
Yeah. No, I think I should stop.
Dad, we wanted to ask you a question. If given the opportunity, do you think that, like Darth Vader, you would want to take over the galaxy?
Me?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're talking about the whole galaxy, not just like a quadrant.
Fuck. You have thought about this.
He's about to tell you his plan.
I would like to take it over.
Okay.
Great.
Do you have a plan? It's like an assist, but for Sith Lords and encouraging them.
No, I do. My plan is basically I will be interviewing and creating a network of assassination teams who will do nothing but take out and eradicate all of the bad people in the galaxy.
That sounds more like a Jedi.
It depends what morally is defined as bad, I guess.
Yeah, and then we have to look at Darth Vader's morals. What was his inspiration? Where were his influences?
Yeah, why was Darth Vader so angry at the world and the galaxy?
You clearly have never watched Star Wars.
No.
Dad, you've sparked a conversation. We're going to take your ideas and move forward with them.
I just want to point out that this is not the rapture, okay? The rapture is something different. It's somebody else's responsibility. This is just my own little pet peeve of having to navigate the world full of bad people. It would be a whole lot better and certainly more pleasant if every day you were surrounded by great people, good people who loved you. That's my motivation.
Yeah.
You can't.
Bars.
Yeah, that's it. We're all, like little salmon trying to find our way home.
Oh.
I love you all.
Love you, Dad.
Love
Dad.
you.
I love you.
Okay, have a great session and a great day, and I miss you all. I love you.
Miss you, love you.
Okay, see you in a few weeks at a wedding. Okay, bye.
Okay,
Bye, Mark.
I'm so unsure of where to go after that.
He has the ability to just stun you.
Yeah. Say the most ridiculous things and then also say something that just breaks every wall you've ever built
Yeah.
in an instant.
Yeah.
I
He's,
expected nothing less.
yeah. He compared us to salmon.
And then said, I love you and miss you all.
See you at a wedding. What an asshole.
I guess we should go around and check in.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, I wanted to do something new with our check-in where, as we're going around, feel free to share anyone that may or may not ever listen to this, but that you appreciate these past couple weeks.
Oh. So is this like a question? Like, how are you and who are you grateful for these past couple of weeks in your life?
Yeah, and it could be something as simple as, well, my hands were full and somebody held the door for me. Or it could be something as deep as my grandfather built me a guitar 3 years ago. And, well, it actually was less than that. I was trying to pull something random, but I just dug deep.
Yeah. It's like, this is a really specific
Yeah, I was
example.
like,
Yeah.
this has to be real.
Do
right?
you want to start?
Yeah.
No.
Kaylee?
I mean, I'm doing okay. The week has been good. I'm adjusting to working regularly. Also, I have like my own clients now, finally, who I'll be like seeing like I'll have the same schedule every 2 weeks. So each week rotates, which is very nice because it was a little chaotic for the last couple months, just kind of showing up to work and being told where to go, which kind of works for me anyways, because I'm just in my car most of the day. But yeah, I'm finally adjusting to being a working person and like actually helping people, which is nice. I don't know. I guess I'm grateful for Kyler these last few weeks. I mean, I'm always kind of grateful for Kyler. He keeps me alive, you know? Yeah.
I do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. We've heard you do check-ins in like a couple different seasons. So to hear you now compared to like
Yeah.
a month or two ago.
Yeah, especially that day where I was on call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great content, but man,
Yeah.
it was
I was
stressful.
so angry.
Audience will love it. You will
And
not.
it was funny because I kept like, I was like very aware of the like, just filled with rage sitting here at the idea of doing it. And then as soon as I would get on the phone, it's just like snap right back into work mode. It didn't affect me in any way. It's very strange how I can kind of jump in and out very easily.
Oh, we've spoken about that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in great detail.
Yeah. I have fun with it sometimes. Like, I don't know, the work building is so confusing. The central office, it's at the like Bears Road Center, where there's like that Lawton's, Fabricville, the blood clinic. But there's also like a basement too, which is like a maze of things. And so in the last week alone, I've had 3 people like walk by me lost, and I've walked them somewhere in the building to help, because like directing doesn't really help because there's so many hallways and stairs. So I'm just like, I'll walk you there.
Wow.
So I just do that a lot.
What an opportunity to meet people.
Yeah, I met one really cool girl. She's a carpenter, which was super cool. I was like, that's such a cool skill. And she's like, nah, I just hammer things all day. And I was like, good for you.
Valid. You know
Good
what?
for you.
Respect.
Yeah.
Shout out to Carpenter Girl.
Carpenter girl. Didn't get her name, but yeah. Yeah.
Are there parts of your past that you haven't explored yet or like seem to be more challenging to kind of dive into?
Yes. So we're digging into like, I mean, I've talked about internal family systems like last
Yeah.
time. And so part of that is coming into the parts that I also not only don't recognize, but don't want to recognize. So it's really easy. And that doesn't just mean like the bad parts of me, because I very much recognize like my teenage self and my very sad inner child. But there's a lot missing in there. And like I said, like I don't remember anything. I don't remember a lot of the incidences. Like I remember the moment of escalation, and that's really about it. I don't remember things that happened, and I don't remember like the people involved.
Wow. It makes me think of when a fragmentation occurs during this window when your perception has been dialed down. So as things are withdrawn from reality, a fragmentation
Yep.
happens.
Yeah. So like in order to cope with that at that age, the reason that I distinctly don't remember a lot is because I was maladaptive daydreaming so heavily along with dissociating. They kind of go hand in hand. Like to the point where that was my favorite part of the day, was to put my headphones on and just think about things, imaginary things that were happening. And so it's like I can remember some of those favorite things that I used to dream about, like consciously imagine. But that's what that's the stuff I was engaging in. Like I was not engaging with reality. So I can't remember a lot of reality. Wow. And there's still times where like I'll talk to my therapist and go, I don't know if I actually said this yet or if I just imagined telling you. Because when I imagine having conversations with people, sometimes I can't distinguish after if I actually had the conversation.
And oh my God, this makes me think of my near-death experience and how I'll sometimes think, was it so near or did it occur? And is everything that I've experienced after that point just like a lucid?
Oh my God, that's terrible.
It's brutal.
Oh,
It's brutal.
Yeah, that one.
So then it's like learning about your anchor points to find tools to secure you so you can come out and say, okay, everything's fine. This is reality.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. So who else to check in? Matt?
Sure. Yeah, I didn't mean to sound
I fucking guess so.
unenthusiastic. You mentioned Kyler as your person that you're grateful for, and I feel like if I were to do this every morning, I would always say Liv. So I'd just like to preface by saying I have an awesome partner who takes very good care of me. I'm doing well, I think. The last couple weeks have been kind of a roller coaster day to day how I'm feeling, but overall I would say that I'm trending upwards. I feel like over the summer I had very little control of what was in my brain and what I was experiencing, and now I feel like I have some control back. Like I feel like my shield's not as broken as I thought it was.
Wow. Was there a specific point when you started to realize that?
There was a day last week when I woke up for the first time in a long time, like feeling energized and refreshed. I woke up, I walked down to Tim Hortons, I got water. I was going to get a coffee, but then I remembered that I don't really like coffee. And I was sweating profusely. So I got a water in a bagel and I sat there and ate it and just listened to some sports content. And I was like, you know what? Maybe the world ain't so bad. And
You're just looking at you, kid.
And then this morning, I woke up because Liv was frantically cleaning because she decided this morning that she wanted to get fall decorations and buy everything from the dollar store. Everything that is in the dollar store, she will purchase.
True.
I'm confirming right now. The dollar store will be out of stock. Don't go to the local dollar store. There's nothing there anymore. And I'm excited to see her excitement around what she's doing. But I woke up because she was frantically cleaning and was like, oh, good morning. So I have a plan for today. And it was really cool to wake up like that and just be able to go, yeah, cool. And not like overthink anything. It was just like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice.
The clear line from being in survival brain to problem solving and actually having capacity
Yeah.
to just enjoy time as it passes.
And that's where I feel like I'm at currently. Now, mind you, tomorrow I could have the worst day ever, but
You could get shot.
yeah, I could get shot. Who knows what you have in those desk drawers?
I think I would rather get shot than just like be suicidal all day, though.
Yeah, me
Not
too.
gonna lie.
Wow.
Getting shot would be a better day than waking up in a bad mood.
Even the dogs upstairs felt that. They're like, man, that sounds rough.
That sounds rough.
Sounds rough.
So you just said you would rather get shot than experience another bad day.
Yes. And he's like, I'm going to punch you, and I'm like, please do. I'll be a victim. I would love that. Thank you.
The FBI van outside with the audio just kind of
I consent.
got in closer.
Yeah, they
Like-
adjusted the headset.
Yeah, like I frequently go, yes, please, I consent. And like he's always just like,
Well, no,
he
you just
never-
ruined it.
He just never obviously would never hit me or
ruined
do
it.
anything.
So you
But-
feel safe in your relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
But-
think that should not be taken as being politically incorrect.
No.
That should be taken as feeling safe enough to make jokes about trauma.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
in the past I was in abusive relationships where the abuse wasn't visible. And so although there are lots of people who have acknowledged that, yeah, that sucks that you went through that, but like when I think about being there at the time, I think about what if I went home with a black eye? I would have never went there a second time, right? But like that's just not how abuse works, right?
That brings up that feeling that I used to have as a kid. Like when someone would come into class with like a cast on, I'd be like, fuck you, lucky bastard. Even though they're probably experiencing a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Like they're coming in on crutches. That is such an inconvenience, but everyone's helping them. Everyone's checking on them. Like imagine if you could see what's going on inside my brain like a cast.
It's often said we'd much rather see a bruise in our body. At least you can witness your body healing rather than damage done to your mind. or your spirit. It takes a little longer.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's wild that that was the example that you gave. When I was in school, a friend of mine, he walked in with a cast. And it wasn't until years later where he was like, yeah, I was beaten. At the time, it was like, oh, we get to sign his cast.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was playing it off. Come to find out that what we, as the outsiders, not celebrated, but we were like,
Well, we were experiencing maybe a different kind of abuse as well, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably part of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He straight up was like, yeah, I was beaten. Oh,
Yeah. Now I feel bad for being jealous of that.
yeah, yeah, right.
Well, yeah, I think that's a clear point to make. Like that jealousy definitely comes from a place of internal hurt.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you
Yeah.
recognize someone else getting that love and attention.
Yeah. People get
Right.
Band-Aids for cuts. People
Yes.
get ice for swollen joints, bruises, etc. But you kind of just sit there and take it if it's just words.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's so downplayed.
Yeah.
Psychological warfare. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so downplayed and it's not spoken about. There's still a stigma. I find people will speak about physical abuse more so than emotional, spiritual, financial.
Yes.
That's still something that I think most everybody experiences. And because of that, because it's so present for so many people, if I speak about this, then there's a light that's shone on me.
Yep.
And then I'll be revealed and then they'll find out.
Yep. Yeah, it takes so much like courage for, and it's not just like the legal system, but victims coming forward, like making those claims and saying, yes, I am a victim is such an incredibly difficult thing because we know how the criminal justice system treats victims, right?
Yeah.
They have to be wrung through it. But like, I think one really great example of something that's great that's happening, not great, but
Better?
Yeah.
it's complicated because the situation is horrible, but it's
Yeah.
in the situation in France. I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but a
Yes.
woman, she's 71 years old,
Right.
since she was in her 30s, I believe, something like that.
They've been
the
married
last-
for 40 years.
So yeah, for the last 40 years of her relationship, her husband has been drugging her and allowing men to come in and rape her while she is unconscious for years and years. Now, as a victim of this, because the husband was caught for something else and they discovered the tapes. So as when the tapes were discovered, they basically said, your husband is being charged. He will have prison time. Your option as a victim is to testify or not. You can keep out of the public and we'll just send your husband to jail. That's fine. Or you can bring this case forward and we will attempt to prosecute all 90 men who raped you. So by coming forward as a victim, she was able to, there is literally pictures online of the lineup of men outside the door
They
coming in.
charged 51, I think.
51 are charged so far.
Jesus.
All because she brought her name forward. She had the option to stay silent. Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredibly brave.
I know.
So brave.
Which is horrible
Which
that
is-
victims have to do that in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I wish we didn't have to take a moment to acknowledge just how brave. I wish that was the standard.
Yes.
That kind of, oh man, it's so twisted. That kind of courage. It should just be, we shouldn't have to be brave to do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
It should be common practice that if something bad has happened to you, speak and you will not be judged or shamed, or it won't be turned around to point the finger at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I agree 100% there. It's almost frustrating how we see it as like a courageous act, but it shouldn't be. And not to take anything away from her, because I do think it was a courageous act, but like you said, at this point, it's 2024. We know what's been going on in the world for a long time. There's no reason why anyone can't come forward and say something.
It should be normalized coming forward.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that makes me think about the Me Too movement. I was thinking about what that really was. The Me Too movement started in 2012. We know it a little bit later because it was co-opted by the entertainment industry, essentially, when that's not what it was about at all. It was literally about men's violence towards women. It was about gender-based violence, but specifically talking about men who have hurt women as a collective. And so saying me too was not saying I've been victimized exactly like that, or that this specific man did anything to me. It just means I'm a woman who has experienced gender-based sexual violence, right? It was supposed to be a broad term to call out the behavior and make light of how many women actually experience this, not to call out these key men in Hollywood and call them perpetrators and let everyone else go. Because that's what Me Too turned into. It turned into canceling people, which isn't a real thing. That's never what was supposed to be happen. But the conversation got warped around from being about women facing violence so prevalently to look at these few horrible men. We arrested them. And that's it. But we're not making any fundamental changes. Because the movement was it was coined by a black feminist who wanted to make awareness of how bad this is, how our society caters to violence. And then it just got lost in the media.
Do you know at what point it shifted?
I believe it was around Trump's election. Yeah.
That'll
It was
do
when Harvey Weinstein got put in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then the media attention goes from these women trying to make a change
Yes.
to this big famous guy got caught doing something
Yes.
bad.
Yes, which was important. Like, I'm glad he's in jail. I'm glad
course.
all of those people are in
Yes.
jail. But at the same time, why are we still talking about Harvey Weinstein?
And it's interesting how that movement started by women for women ended
Yes.
up being stories about men anyways.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's still
Oh man.
the narrative didn't stay with like strong, powerful women. It went to these men are bad people, not these women are victims. These women are suffering. These men made bad decisions.
Yep. And I've heard men on podcasts specifically using the term Me Too'd. They got Me
Yes.
Too'd. I'm sorry, you mean they raped someone or committed sexual violence against someone?
Yeah, so
Because
what you're
what
saying
does that mean?
is that you're a perpetrator
Yeah. Like,
in this. You made someone a victim.
yeah, you mean someone literally said this guy committed a sexual crime against them, and you're just saying, he was Me Too'd.
Yeah.
That's it.
It just
How does that not rub someone the wrong way?
Like, you are
detracts from the
downplaying it.
entire. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just such a view that I can't even find the right word to describe it. It's just like so like what you can't see isn't affecting you. God, I wish I was smart and knew good words. That would be so nice if I knew words like geopolitical.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah. That was such an assimilation. I don't even know if that's actually
Coruscant.
Yeah, Coruscant.
It's just a planet
Yeah, it
from
is.
a made-up universe.
Well,
Allegedly.
allegedly made up.
Me Too'd. They took an entire movement and selfishly made it into this misogynistic
Yep.
Yeah.
lens.
They looked at victims opening up about what had happened to them and said, now you're making us victims.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. The majority of people who came forward never named names because why would they? Right?
Yeah.
Most of the people who have been victimized understand that the criminal justice system is not here for them. And so in coming forward, they were just trying to find some personal growth in them, right? Some personal comfort.
Just
some
let it
connection.
out.
Yes. And it was never about the men. It got turned into it.
No, it's not about putting someone else down. It's about healing.
Yes. And obviously, if someone commits a crime, like a sexual crime, they should go to jail. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, putting them down a little bit in
Yeah.
that way, but it's
Yeah.
it's not meant to make you feel worse. It's meant to make people feel better.
like, you're not alone. That was
Yeah.
the point of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Advocacy. You're not alone. But now it's, well, we're going to single out the men. And blah, 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 and
Women are out to get men now or something.
Yeah, these days women just don't cook and clean, which is so insane.
In like the grand scheme of things, we think about this one movement, and it's just another segment in the objectification and the absolute deterioration of anybody besides straight white males.
And it's wild that like some people still can't see that.
Yeah. I think the people who can't see it are straight white men.
Yes.
Misogynists and narcissists will always find a way to victimize themselves, to use somebody else's pain and victimize themselves.
That's true.
We need more straight white men to see what's really going on.
I thought you were just going to cut it off at we need more straight.
Yeah,
white
I was
men.
like,
No, we need less. Well, I mean, I have the belief that sexuality is kind of like a spectrum in a way. I think you were the one, Kaylee, who really like.
Yes. Because you were dating a non-binary person when we met.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So coming from someone who's mostly straight and mostly white, I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need more straight white men to see what's going on.
Yeah.
We're all
deep in thought.
We're all
here.
deep in thought.
We are all silent and deep in thought.
We all have a deep emotional reaction right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if we are going to talk about like sexual violence and the prevalence of it, I feel like we should also mention that one of the presidential candidates in the U.S. is a convicted felon. And some of those felonies include sexual misconduct, sexual violence. And he's still running for president.
Again.
So,
Yeah.
again.
I can't believe that that's a real thing.
I know. And his sentencing has been pushed off until after the election because they basically are going to put him in prison, hopefully. That's what they're trying for.
What's shocking is like I'll see videos on TikTok of like just people on the street being like, would you vote for somebody who was a registered sex offender or like who was a felon? And they're like, oh my God, no, I'd never do that. And then like, but who are you voting for?
Trump.
They're
that delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like he's created an army who blindly follow him and refuse to see anything. And mind you, this is not a political podcast by any means, but I mean, come on.
It does tie into like
The prevalence of sexual violence in our culture all together. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have people supporting this person. A lot of people supporting this person.
yeah.
He's a powerful white man.
Yes.
He is.
And I mean, he's pictured with Jeffrey Epstein. He's pictured with Diddy. And not just once. Not just once. He's quoted talking about how great these men are, how much these men like young women, and he's okay with that.
When he sexualizes his daughter,
Gross.
A concern.
disgusting.
A concern.
He said so much, but it goes back years and years, and it was just, he's just being a goofball.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, that's just Trump being Trump.
That's just Trump being Trump.
Yeah.
But then
If anybody else said it, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You'd be like, incest, go to prison. That's wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
So where's the disconnect?
I think that the disconnect is nowhere.
They're brainwashed.
And there's a lot of propaganda.
Yeah, I think it comes down to everything that Trump has done, a lot of other people have done, and everything that he believes, a lot of other people believe.
Do you guys remember that little thing we did in school where Megan put the 3 political candidates on the
Yes.
board, and the only description they had was like vegetarian, does this, and then like that the one with the like morally best, was Hitler, and the one with the morally worse was someone who was well liked in politics, right?
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it. Like I remember being like, yes, I would vote for that guy, like whoever the one who smokes and drinks and does these things because he's a real person,
Yeah. And then it was Winston Churchill.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, well, one, I wouldn't vote for any of these people because there's no actual policy information here.
Kaylee's like, you will not catch me.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, but it is interesting that so many people in our class were able to very quickly just say, yeah, sure, I'll vote for this one without even like thinking about the fact that they're politicians. You're not supposed to be voting based on what they do in their spare time.
No.
And then the pictures were posted and we're like, by golly, I've been duped.
I've been bamboozled.
Yeah.
You've done it again.
I think that's what a lot of people like. For me, Kamala Harris, when I listen to her speak, I'm not saying I'm like pro anything. When I listen to her speak, I think this is a person who is a good public speaker, who can talk to people, who can communicate ideas effectively. But then I think, you know what? There are a lot of people who probably have a hard time interpreting her ideas compared to Trump's. because he is so quippy and has so much cadence. He's funny because of that cadence. And they're like, that's a real dude. That's
Yeah.
a real, right? They relate to that. He's not a politician. He's not stuffy.
He could be my buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of that comes from that.
We
I
could
think.
both talk about how hot his daughter is.
How they're eating the dogs and eating the cats.
I know.
You know what's funny? Thanks for updating us with how you feel. Izzy, how are you feeling?
Oh yeah. Oh, also the people that.
my God.
Yeah, remember that?
No,
That was weeks ago.
That was a conversation from a different day.
Yeah.
That was different personalities talking.
Yeah.
Real quick before Izzy goes, the people who I am grateful for over the last couple weeks is since I've switched roles at my job, I've been working with some new people and a little bit with some old ones, and I've made some connections to like potentially expand my circle outside of work, and it's nice to have that again. So if you know who you are and for some reason you're listening to this, thanks. That's cool. How are you doing, Izzy?
I'm actually very, very good. I went home to Newfoundland last week. My weeks are all jumbled up. I don't know what day it is today.
You look so chill.
Absolutely vibing.
I'm living my best life. I quit on Thursday.
Oh yeah, Liam's just hearing this.
Yes.
Yeah. You quit.
I quit.
We love.
Fuck yeah.
I got a full-time nannying job that I start on Monday with lesbian moms. So
Fuck
it's
yeah.
And twins.
Dream.
Twin 2-year-olds.
Twin lesbian moms.
like twin boys. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Wow.
You know that's going to be an awesome experience.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you already know the kids, right?
Yeah.
Like you've met them.
My
Yeah.
mom was their doula. So she was there from like when they got pregnant to the birth and was postpartum with them up until 16 months. And then I started going over there casually. And then now they want full-time.
That's so exciting.
Wow. So when you commented, and you do this, you'll just throw something incredibly enlightening. But when you said everybody has a breaking point, I'm assuming that's kind of what happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was literally 3 months, the last 3 months, I've just not been me. Like when I'm at home, I'm just like exhausted. After doing nothing all day, I'm just exhausted living. And I was like, I just can't. I've been at the company, the organization for 18-ish months. It's like, I need a change. I can't do this anymore. And I've been looking for nannying jobs last couple weeks. And now it's here. I'm so excited.
I'm so proud of you.
Right?
I'm
Isn't
so
that
proud of you.
incredible?
Thanks.
You make me think of, and we've seen you do this a number of times. You'll go headfirst into a storm and come out a stronger sailor and just modify your ship. And for some reason, this is a naval analogy.
Navel
But-
is in belly button?
But yeah. It's a belly button analogy. But yeah, like you just have this incredible adaptability and you'll do what's best and right for you.
I spent
It's hard for a lot of people.
I spent so much of my life not doing what was best for me and doing what was best for everyone around me that now I'm just like, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm going to do me first.
Yay.
It makes me think of boundaries and
Winston Churchill.
it makes me think of Winston Churchill. The people that are upset at the fact that you're setting boundaries are the ones breaking them. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because usually once you set a boundary once with someone who, respects you, you don't have to bring it up again.
Unless they're incredibly forgetful.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
different. But
Because I can't even remember. Oh my God. It was your daughter who had to tell me like 4 times to stop calling her. I can't even remember what I was calling her. And she set a boundary with me. And then I called her again like 10 minutes ago. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like I just forgot.
That was great though. She's 9.
That was incredible.
That's awesome.
She set a boundary at 9.
fantastic.
Yeah. She was like, my name's not that. It's this. Please call me that.
Yeah, and it was
Like-
done so respectfully.
Yeah. I was like, fair enough.
That was one of the most important things, is to introduce these fundamental pillars that many of us didn't get a chance to explore or maybe explored but didn't get a chance to build upon.
Yeah.
To teach my kids about consent and boundaries and equality and equity, all of these things. The other day, she was like, "You're assuming right now." Fuck.
Love. I can't
You're
wait
like,
till your kids
I'm
are
a
teenagers.
counselor, and I just got caught by a 9-year-old.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I am.
Yeah.
Go back to your cage. It's refreshing. It's empowering. It's invigorating. It offers some semblance of hope looking forward, especially if hope is something that often escapes us. Yeah.
I think this is something we learned in school. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm completely imagining this. But that Gen Alpha, like this new generation, is going to be one of the smartest and most innovative generations we've ever had.
Yes,
as
we did
people.
talk about that in school.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's based on the theory that human IQ scores are going to continue rising, and they have. Like the average IQ score when it was first created, they've been adjusting it to 100. Like the 100 is, I can't remember exactly how those statistics work, but it's like a bell curve. So they make sure 100 is always the center. But more and more people are actually moving above that as we advance with technology and agriculture. But there is a theory that it's very quickly going to plateau in the next decade. And Gen Alpha might catch it. It might be the generation after them. It's kind of hard to say. What the reasoning for the plateau is there's a lot of reasons.
There's a lot of teachers on TikTok nowadays who are saying that they're quitting because the younger generation, like kindergarten, grade 1, they don't know how to read. They don't know how to write.
They're not learning
proper
phonetics.
words.
Yeah. So they're not learning how to actually sound out words. Because on like social media, you just read everything phonetically, right? Like nobody's correcting you. And so kids can spell based on what they think words sound like, but they can't really spell. They don't really know the rules of English, and therefore they can't really read it either, which is crazy. But yes, there is a huge reading level crisis in our education systems. I can't speak for Nova Scotia because they don't really talk about things like that.
Important
things.
Important future barriers.
But yes, the average reading and comprehension level is absolutely declining.
Wow.
And a big part of it has to do with poverty. Yeah. Because how can a child care about reading and writing when they're hungry and unloved?
True.
The least of
can't.
their worries.
Yeah.
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 I mean, would you want to learn to read and write if you're not sure where you're going to sleep tonight? If you're not sure where your next meal's coming from?
Yep.
Your survival instinct kinks in. I just said kinks in. I just said kinks in.
Freudian slip.
That was a Freudian slip. Tell us someone you're grateful for.
Oh, goodness.
The lesbian moms, perhaps?
Yeah, for getting me out of the organization. Very thankful for them. You guys for checking up on me last week.
Yay.
Yeah, that's about it.
I think you were the first one that said the rest of us, and now Kaylee and I. Well, at least I feel like shit. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I can't imagine Kaylee feeling much of anything. But
thank you.
I gratitude.
That's a compliment.
You are like a Sesame Street episode.
What kind of Sesame Street were you watching?
I missed that episode.
Like pointing out keywords and gratitude. Let's all pronounce it together.
Liam, your turn.
My turn.
How are you doing?
I'm
Oh.
We just touched toes. Really good now. I've been, and it's simultaneously exciting, but it's also kind of sad. This is the first fall where I have actually taken the time to watch as the leaves change. Aww. It's the first fall when I'm just giving myself space to feel that change, to see every morning I'll step outside and I'll just notice the colors evolving. And then I'm like, well, why is this the first fall?
Peace in our time.
Yeah. Peace in our time. And then Thanos attacked. But it's true. How come this is the first fall? And then I start to get emotional and think I missed out on 30 plus other changes. But then there's a celebration where, okay, I may have missed out on those times, but I get to experience this. Mm-hmm. So rather than kind of view it from like a nihilistic, which is my go-to, it's more, hey, not sun's getting real low. That's the opposite of
Hey, big guy.
yeah, hey, big guy. Now it's like, hey, okay, this feels good.
Feel the rain on your skin.
No one else can feel it for you.
So yeah, that's where I've been. Of course, peaks and valleys, good things happen, challenging things happen, but there is this consistent reminder that the world will keep spinning, things will keep evolving, and that all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. And so during this time, I'm just choosing to celebrate. And that's very fucking new. Very fucking new. Somebody I'm grateful for? Willem Dafoe.
Valid.
No. Somebody I'm grateful for. Katie, for just accepting me for exactly who I was, am, and may be. That's all I can ask for.
When you said that, I had an instant feeling of like, I miss my girlfriend. I want to go home and see Liv.
Yeah.
Mine was
Right.
I miss my cat.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, those emotionless fucks.
At least they're not happy.
They just don't need to rub their happiness in your face. That's all.
Yes.
Like a dog's like, look at me, I'm happy. Arf, arf, arf. Lick, lick, lick. Wag, wag, wag. Cats are just like...
Salem makes it known that he misses me.
It's the alternative version. Lick, lick, lick. Wag, wag, wag.
Yeah, Salem is a much cheerier cat than
Oh
mine,
my god,
though.
he's the best.
It's so cute. When I go into her apartment, I'll go, Salem, and he'll come running around the corner and go, ngang, 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 and it's making these little noises. I don't know what he's doing, but it's so cute.
I love him. Oh, he's the best.
Speaking Klingon.
I don't know if there's anything better than a talkative cat.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he meows for at least 20 minutes every time I come home.
Like, he's just telling you about his day. He's like, hey, dude, what's up?
Bro, you'll never believe what
You'll never
happened.
fucking believe what I saw at the window today.
Just staring at the building.
I counted all the bricks again.
The number hasn't changed. Imagine that. It's the only time when I'm like, this is fact.
The rest of it is pure gibberish.
But then you start speaking about Bigfoot.
Are we going to have another Bigfoot discussion today?
I don't think we could really fact check Bigfoot, though.
Okay, so my son has been reading. He has this I Spy book.
Yes.
And so he has one. We've read it like every night for months. Each night, I will just change the story, but like use the pictures.
And he has no idea.
So far, through the pictures in that book, I have told him the story of 50 Cent. I've spoken about Interstellar.
Such a good movie.
we talked about stocks.
You didn't.
We did.
That's terrible.
Every night, I'll just use the same pictures. He's gonna grow up and be like, Dad, I have no concept of reality. Oh my God. My dad texted me. He said, if I'm allowed to edit, assassination teams sounds too harsh. I would instead call them the Purification Network.
That's worse. You sound like a eugenicist, Mark.
Awful.
That's what Hitler used to say.
Do you remember when we said that it's only in your 30s that you really uncover that your father
is a Sith Lord? No.
he really is a Sith Lord?
You uncover that he's actually far worse.
Yeah. My father is Hitler.
My father, the Fuhrer.
Bullies and identity and all these things. I can see how people only lived until like 35.
Yeah.
It's like the weight of life is crushing at times.
It's absolutely painful.
It's like being a centaur. but the top half is a horse, and the bottom half are human legs.
Didn't we have like a whole month in school where we just kept talking about centaurs? Like,
I was gonna make you guys one for Christmas.
Like
a real
like a real.
Like get like I was gonna buy like little
Barbie?
toy horses and then rip off a Barbie.
I was gonna buy human legs and a horse head.
Guys, Merry Christmas.
Oh my god! This is abomination.
I'd like you to meet Hellscape.
mentioned, you guys were starting sex ed, but there's no way that was learned in sex ed. That was
No.
learned on the internet.
That was that was Call of Duty.
The greatest cultural education ever that I've received has been the lobby.
Oh yeah,
The lobby of Call of Duty and Halo.
is a truly a wasteland
Yeah.
of the worst individuals. I remember being 11 years old and people are just like, no one should ever repeat what was said
Just
to my
annihilating
11-year-old.
each other.
Yeah.
Just absolute, like, people should be charged.
Yeah.
There were murders left and right.
Yeah. It was, but I think it toughened me in a way.
Or it softened me utterly, devastatingly.
Those Call of Duty lobbies, they were something.
They were something else.
There's someone out there right now going, fuck, that was me.
Yeah,
I said those things.
I'm sorry for what I said. That's
Sorry for what I said about your mother and grandmother.
generational trauma stems from the Call of Duty lobby. Oh my god. Well,
Yeah. Should probably wrap this up.
talking for years.
My butt's
well,
numb.
We've touched on many things
And touched
Yes.
many things.
and touched many things. All of our asses are numb.
And we learned that
From the touching?
10-year-old me was a little bit of a pervert, but didn't know it.
It was only upon reflection. Well, we hope you learned something today.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
In summary,
We're living in a simulation.
and whatever else we spoke about.
Yeah, so much that I don't even remember
Fucking
anymore.
know.
Good luck. Good luck with this
Fucking
one.
luck.
We hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, we hope you
Yeah.
enjoy. Now all that's left to do. Thank you for walking with us.
Thank you for walking with us.
Adabel.
Thank you for watching us.
There it is.
I can hear it. I can see it. What's that called when you can see sound?
Mushrooms?